Hi again. I am Fathom and I am the founder of Other Fiber Creations, and today I am going to show you how to do the ribbed stitch. This is also known as just doing ribbing, or if you want to get real technical, it is single crochet in the back loop only. This is what it looks like when it's worked up. It is this semi-dense texture. It still has a couple little holes, but nothing I can get my fingers through. And it has this fun definition in rows on either side, right or wrong. It's a really good stitch to know. So let's go ahead and get to it, shall we? Let's get down to the floor. So for today's tutorial, we're going to use this random ball of weight for acrylic that I found laying around, which seems to be a trend with our tutorials, huh? And then today we have a 5mm H hook, size 8 in US sizes. And so the ribbed stitch, also known as single crochet in the back loop only, is really simple. What you're going to do first is chain how many across you want to do. If you don't know what chaining is or anything like that, you can go ahead and find that video here that will teach you how to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and chain, let's do 15 today.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
So there is our chained row. Usually you don't count this as a row, which is fine. I don't know why I called it a row. It's one of those mornings, you know? So the next step is you're just going to single crochet across like you normally would when doing the single crochet. If you don't know how to single crochet, you can follow that here. So let's go ahead and single crochet across, starting in the second chain from hook, and just go straight across. See, simple enough so far if you know the basics. This is how you start a ribbed pattern. Mine's a little bit curly Q, which is fine. It happens as I get here to the end. One more. So there is our basic single crochet. Now, the important thing about ribbing is knowing about loops. On top of our single crochet, you can see that there is these V shapes. 1, 2, done, done, and so on and so forth. With these loops, we have what's called a front loop and a back loop. The one closest to us, these, are front loops. The ones farthest from us, like these back here, are back loops. When you turn your work, which we're going to be doing in this one, you turn your work chain 1, it switches which are which. The front loop will always be the loop closer to you, even if it used to be the back loop. So now, these are front loops that I was just pointing to, and these are back loops. The key to making ribbing is that you go into the back loop only. So instead of doing this, which is how I would normally start, I'm going to go in between with my hook and go under just the back loop. I'm going to show that again, just to make sure I'm where you can easily see me. Instead of going in right there, which is through both, I'm going to go in between with my hook and go in just the back one. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Insert hook, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. This is the key to getting a ribbed look with what you're making. Typically, this stitch is used for the edges of sweaters, of crop tops, of anything you want a little bit of texture on. You also do this stitch with a hook that is a smaller size than the hook you're using for the base of the project to kind of cinch in your ends. And so you just keep on keeping on, going all the way across from the first stitch to the last stitch of the row, and making a point to kind of try and go slowly so that you can see what I'm doing here. And then you reach the end of the row. And as you can see, it creates this pronounced line right here in the center. This pronounced line is the front loops that we did not work into. When you're done with your second row, you go over, chain 1, and do the exact same thing in what is now your back loops. So you just go ahead and go across. And you end up here. As you can see from this side, this line that kind of caves in and is bent, on the other side is your front loops, and vice versa. Here are our front loops, and on the other side, it's caved in. Some notable features about this stitch pattern are that it has a good amount of stretch when you have a good amount of it together, meaning it is great for those cinching in moments so it can still stretch around whatever body part you want it to stretch around. It is also a great fun texture of this up and down, which adds a lot of interest to the piece you're working on. It does not use too much yarn when you're just casually doing it, but when you're making ribbing for a sweater, crop top like we talked about, it uses a lot more yarn than you're expecting it to, so keep that in mind. All in all, I highly recommend this stitch pattern. It's a great thing to have in your arsenal to be able to kind of just throw at the wall with whatever you're making. But now, I want to thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. If you're going to do one of those 3 things, subscribe. You can see what other weird things I make around here. Today's question of the day is going to be, what is the last crochet project you finished? For me, it was some mini crochet turtles. These are not the mini ones. These are the full-size ones. But I have some mini ones sitting across the room because I am in market prep mode. I am preparing to sell at my first market at the beginning of May, and I am excited and terrified. We're gonna see what happens with that. But let me know, what's the last project you finished and why in the comments below. If you want to see what else I'm up to, you can find all my social media down in the description below, such as my Ribbler, my Pinterest, my Facebook, my Instagram, all those good things, as well as my personal Etsy and Square site if you want to buy the things I make. Wow, so many options. With that, thank you so much for watching, and bye for now.